Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Freedom Adventure. My name's Jason and welcome to the channel. We just got back from about a 3.5 hour drive down to southeast Oklahoma. I went down there for a friend of mine's wedding, and while we were there, we were able to go ahead and stop by our cabin and do a little planning in terms of what our floor plan is going to look like once we start framing walls in. And if you watch my last video, it's kind of like a video about what are we going to do next. What are we going to start off with? Starlink? Are we going to figure some off-grid power options? And honestly, one of the things, and we might do all that, but one of the things that we definitely want to do is to go ahead and start framing in some walls. I guess walls would actually just kind of make it feel like we're getting something done. Something big, something visual, tangible, touchable, whatever you want to call that. Of course, I've got my ideas about the way I think it ought to look, and my wife's got her ideas as well. And basically, what we're running into at this point is kind of a challenge with communication, right? She's got things that she wants, I've got things that I want. And the way I describe things, the way that she describes things, trying to comprehend what each other are actually trying to get the point across as, that's turning out to be a little bit of a challenge here. Luckily, she's got a pretty good gift in terms of working the computer and coming up with design drawings on the computer. And at least if I could see those drawings on paper, it gives me an idea. And I think we're actually a lot more aligned than what we've kind of thought here this last day or so. But time's going to tell. We're going to find that out here soon enough. You see, there's so many things to take into consideration, especially because this particular build is going to be an off-grid build. In a typical house, you've got basically your bedrooms, you've got your dining area, your kitchen, closets, and we need all of that. But what we're also going to have to consider, it is an off-grid property. There's things on this that I'm considering. For instance, when we're not there, the heat's not going to be on. So yes, I can drain the water out of the pipes, but if we were to forget that, do you really want pipes running on exterior walls? These are the kind of things that are going through my head. And maybe I'm overthinking this, so if you off-grid folks out there are watching this, let me know. What do you think? Personally, I don't think it's a good idea to have pipes running on exterior walls, or for that matter, to have your sink on an exterior wall when you're going to be shutting your cabin down, oftentimes in very, very cold conditions. There's not going to be a heater running out there. We don't want that, not while we're not there. Another thing I'm looking at is like, where is my equipment going to go? We're going to be running solar equipment, so we're going to have somewhat of a mechanical closet somewhere in order to store the equipment, like the power inverter, the battery bank, things like that. This equipment's not just terribly large, but it is something that needs to be considered. One of the things I'm also kind of concerned about is it is a small space. Right now, it is 24 feet by 30 feet long. Now, we're going to extend the cabin 10 feet out because the way that they built it, it just makes it really easy to do that. So we're going to take advantage, and that's probably the first thing we're going to be doing. At least at that point, we'll be able to look at that extension on there, and that is going to be a bedroom and a spare bedroom, kind of an office slash spare bedroom. The only real room that's going to be in the main portion of the cabin, that's going to be the bathroom slash laundry room slash kind of a mud room, all the above. The way we're looking at it right now, I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 12 by 12, and that's going to come out of the 24 by 30 foot main cabin area. The rest of it, we want wide open. We want to be able to stand in the kitchen and look all the way to the other end of the cabin. Bottom line is, we're just going to have to go spend some more time out at this place. And this weekend, obviously, we had a wedding to attend. It wasn't first and foremost to be sitting there doing cabin planning, but like I said, we had to stop by and do a little bit of daydreaming. It's still really new to us, so we just had to. Now, I'm thinking about next weekend. It's mid-November, and I think today was in the 80s, so it's a beautiful weather type situation. So we're thinking about next weekend is making a trial run down there and go ahead and take like a cot with an air mattress on it, like a little queen size air mattress, so we can go ahead and sleep at the cabin. We'll probably go ahead and run the dogs down there too, and just kind of see how one in particular who's got a little bit of travel anxiety, if you will, we won't name names, but it's Beaumont, and just kind of see how Beaumont does on the trip down there. We'll find that out soon enough. Now, he's going to have to adjust, or we're going to have to get sedatives or something for the pup so he can make that trip. They're going to have to adjust one way or the other. Now, initially, we were going to go ahead and try to take the bathroom and also the spare bedroom out of the 24 by the 30-foot main cabin area. The addition, that was going to end up being a master bedroom, but a master bedroom that's 24 feet long by 10 feet. Yeah, that's pretty grandiose, but it's just a little bit not really appropriate for the size of dwelling that we've got. We're thinking it's going to be better to go ahead and have both the main bedroom and then the spare bedroom in that addition. It'll also make that main cabin area feel a whole lot more roomy, I guess. We tried to make it work the other way. We put tape on the floor. We looked at different ideas. We got into a few, I don't want to call them arguments, but disagreements, heated disagreements. The way that we've come back is basically we're going to go ahead and proceed with the bedrooms on the end in the addition. Now again, I overthink things, but it's never really hurt me in the long run. As a matter of fact, overthinking things has often helped me out because by the time I actually get to doing them, I'm much more prepared to actually do them, and I've already taken contingencies into play. We're just going to have to spend some time out there, really look it over, but at some point, it's going to be time to get down with a nail gun and start posting up some walls. Once that takes place, I think we're going to have a visual, and everything that we've been questioning will get nullified, and we'll be a lot more satisfied at that point because we're actually going to be seeing structure going up. Part of the reason that we wanted to buy property out in this place, however, is not going to be to sit inside of our cabin. It's to enjoy the outdoors. And guys, I'm telling you, the outdoors at this place is beautiful. When you look across the skyline here, and it's going to get even better because we're going to drop a couple of trees that are in the way when you stand on our front porch and you look out over the skyline. We're going to drop a couple of these trees to open that up, and it's just stunning. I think you'd agree with me when you look at this that it's just absolutely beautiful. The next time we go out there, hopefully I'll be able to film a little bit more content and show you a little bit more specifically what I'm talking about. I attempted to take some footage of the tape on the floor with what we were planning to do, but the tape on the floor, when you're doing that and getting photos of that, it just kind of blends in, and it's really hard to see, or it's really hard to get an idea. In terms of room layout and just things to take into consideration on an off-grid cabin, if you have any experience or any suggestions, I beg of you, please give them to me. Like I said, when we leave the cabin, we're going to shut it down. And that might mean even draining water out of the pipes and all that before we leave. That way, there's just no chance anything can freeze up. Again, though, if you've got suggestions on how to go about this, drop them in the comments. Love to hear them. Just a quick video, though. Kind of a wrap up of how the weekend went. Overall, it was productive. Frustrating at times, but overall, definitely productive. We came back with a lot of ideas. When we were down at the wedding, we were able to walk through some pretty high-end cabin builds. You see, my buddy had rented about 2 different cabins in the neighborhood, and these are cabins that primarily are rented out for Airbnb. Now, these were in a much different bracket than what we're building our cabin. Ultimately, though, I think that we're going to end up having a cabin every bit as nice, but with only a fraction of the monetary output than what these cabins that we looked at had going for them. But the cool thing about walking through these cabins was it just gave us a load of ideas. My wife's like a human tape recorder. She catches everything. I walk in, I'm impressed. I remember the things that stick with me, but I forget probably 90% after we walk out. When I say we got some good ideas, what I mean is she probably got most of the good ideas, and it's a good thing she could remember because it would just be wasted if you relied on my memory. The next time we're out there, we'll film a little bit more. Not trying to burn your time up, but I just wanted to kind of give you a quick wrap up of our trip, let you know everything went well. The wedding was amazing. Once again, Greg, congratulations, man. I couldn't be happier for you. And thanks for the invite, man. Really. That's all I've got for you today, folks. Like and subscribe if the ambulance camper conversion is something you're interested in. And if you're interested in watching the development of our off-grid cabin, like and subscribe. What could it hurt? That's all, folks. I'll talk to you soon. Happy adventures. Take care, y'all.